Hello there, Albie-Wan here, playing some more Powerwash Simulator with Mr. I'm Dave Angel, and he's currently using
Hello,
the
everybody.
Force. He's currently using the Force to levitate this stool in front of his
Yes,
face.
I've got this very nasty stool problem.
Yes, yes. I pity the stool. How the devil are we?
Yep, we are wonderful. Me, on the other hand, I'm an absolute, bag of shite. But apart from that, we good. We're excellent.
I mean, we all suspect you were a bag of shite.
Well, yeah,
You always gave those little hints. You know what I mean?
yeah. The way everybody wouldn't stand with me in the lift, that kind of thing,
Oh dear. So what we've been up to?
We have been, when I say we, I don't the royal we, I mean myself. I've been playing and I have completed the main campaign on Darksiders 3. It's always
Ooh.
been on my radar to do it, and I've tried to play it a couple of times, and for some reason just lost the impetus to carry it on. But this time I thought, no, I'm sticking with it.
I'm sticking
'Cause,
with you. Yeah, cool, nice. Yeah, I
yes,
can't
it's
remember.
been
It's
it's
been a
been
while
good.
since I completed a game. I'm trying to remember. Actually, no,
Well,
sorry.
that's never a
Actually, no,
bad thing.
sorry. Arcade Paradise. I completed the campaign on that one.
Oh,
Uh,
that's all right.
yeah, so I take that back. That was one of the last ones I played on stream, or the ones I last only just recently sort of finished that one. Um, so yeah, I love that game. If you haven't played that, give it a go because it is so retro.
Oh, incredibly, yeah. Beyond any shadow of a doubt. I did start playing it when it was first on Game Pass, but other things came along because I had to do some reviews and stuff. And
Mm,
things fall by the wayside sometimes.
yeah,
Good thing is, at least, it's gives you another game to go back to later on when you feel as though you've got nothing else to play.
exactly.
So, but
Yeah.
yeah. Also, I reviewed a game called Azura's Crystals,
Ooh,
um, which was it wanted to grow up one day and wanted to be Zelda.
right. Okay.
Unfortunately, it just wasn't there yet. It had fake ID at the door, but I wasn't letting it
His
in.
name wasn't Dan. It was Steve.
His name was not Dan.
It wasn't Dan. It was Steve.
Exactly.
What on earth are you? What boots are you wearing? You're so clumpy.
Am I?
You sounded very clumpy when you were clumping around just now.
I think you'll find, my friend, I always sound clumpy.
Clumpy.
Well, well, I walk around more like bleeding Frankenstein's monster, to be honest. But
Clean the hand. Wash your hands. Wash your
this
hands.
is the way we clean the hand, clean the hand, clean the hands. Boop, boop.
So, you've been following any of the Formula One stuff?
I followed the incredible release of the liveries, which were, for all intents and purposes, exactly the same as last year's.
Yep. Yep. It was a bit sort of like
Exactly the
it was a
same.
bit like, oh, it's like I messaged you the other day. It's like Formula One. It's like it's Formula One. It's 75 years of Formula One. We've got to like celebrate this. It's like right, okay. Well, you're going to celebrate by like doing a livery reveal. Perhaps check with the teams to see if any of them are actually planning on changing their liveries at all. At all.
Yeah, or you could say, well, it's 75 years, so maybe if you want to change it, now would be a good time.
Yeah. Give them
And
some
they all
sort of
went,
give them some sort of
Nah.
incentive to do so. But I mean, they probably wouldn't have done anyway because it's all down to sponsorship, isn't it? But even so,
Yeah.
it's like yeah, you're making a big thing about it's like you're not allowed to show your livery until the event that's showing the liveries off. It's like, well, you made a big
We
fuss
already
about this.
seen them.
You made a big fuss about this. If a car's using the exact same livery as last year, they've already revealed it
Yeah.
effectively. I mean, the
But
McLaren, you
I
won't
know
spot much difference at all,
that you won't, and the
and the Red Bull,
Ferrari
and the Red Bull.
looks well. And the Red Bull. Well, the Ferrari, I know mechanically it's different because they've gone to push rod suspension,
Hmm.
so they've sort of kept caught up with some of the other teams like that. But they've some of the rules have changed, which is quite interesting. So they've got rid of the fastest lap.
Thank Christ for that. That was such a fucking
I
load of shit. It really was.
It was a waste because
It's
you'd
like,
always find,
yeah,
one of them, the person on
whoever's
the team that was
whoever's got like,
furthest back,
yeah,
they
whoever's got
come
30
in,
seconds behind them. Yeah, yeah.
yeah, exactly. They come in, soft tires, go and do the fastest lap. Right, you are, boss.
Just
Off we
steal a
go.
point. Just steal a point, even if you're like not really likely to actually get much from the race anyway. It's yeah, it was a bit stupid. It just didn't work because of the way they actually introduced it.
We want them racing to the line. That's what we want.
Yeah,
We
yeah,
want, you know, we want like sort of, hair's breadths between the fronts of these cars.
yeah. But yeah, Ferrari livery. What do you think?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Well, it's the bloody same, isn't it?
Well, everyone's been making a massive fuss about the HP logo on it and obviously the white stripe on it. It's like I actually really like it. It's an off the wall opinion and it's like controversial, I'm sure, because most people fucking hate it. It's like why? I don't dislike it in any way. I mean, they've done this sort of shit before where they've had like different like stripes, or whatever. Okay, maybe it could have been done a little bit better. I don't know, but I mean, if it wasn't Ferrari, they wouldn't people wouldn't be making a big deal about it. If it
Yeah.
was any other car
Yeah.
than Ferrari, they wouldn't be making a big deal about it at all. It's just because it's a Ferrari. It's like Ferrari should all be red. It's like Ferrari still need to make money every now and then.
Yep.
And I
And
get
let's
like
face it,
I
for
get
sponsorship,
I get
most of
they've got
us
the
that
new title sponsor, but no, I actually didn't like it. I'm sorry, no, I actually did quite like it. I still kind of do. It's I don't know if it's necessarily my favourite livery that's on the grid, but yeah, no, I'm perfectly fine with it. But people are really hating on it.
I did notice that in the rules, McLaren's little mini DRS sort of flexible flap has been banned,
Well, it already was anyway
and
because they had to remove it last year.
y-
But
y-
they're talking about flexible wings overall, where
yeah,
you've got like flex on the front wing and shit like that. It's going to be banned from mid-season. But the thing is,
God's sake.
last season, the FIA said, "Yeah, we're not going to do anything about that." So, the teams that were using it already, it's like, "Oh well, we'll carry on with this." And the teams that hadn't been using it have just spent a fucking fortune catching up and actually advancing technology. And I include Red Bull in this because Red Bull didn't have it. I don't
Yes.
believe what was the other front running team that didn't have it because um, it was Mercedes and McLaren both had it, and I believe Ferrari played catch up on it as well, didn't they? Towards the end of the season, but
I believe so,
but
yes.
with the promise of obviously, it's like, oh, we're not going to do anything more about that, and then them suddenly doing something about it. I can imagine Red Bull being a bit pissed off because they must have spent a lot of money developing that technology or developing that sort of
You would say.
um, and like I said, the FIA they're so inconsistent. You can't believe a single fucking thing they say these days because they'll say one thing and then they'll do something completely fucking different. Imagine if the teams did that. You know?
Yeah, ridiculous.
Yeah.
I did notice they said if the temperature goes above 31 degrees, that the car has to have a the car has to have a cooling system for the driver, doesn't
I
it?
thought you were going to say you have to have like acoustic backing or something like that. That'd be interesting. I'd go for that regulation change. They have like a
What
guitar playing
acoustic
dong dong
backing?
dong do 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 do. Just have like some music in the background. Oh
If a
God.
car comes into the pits with only three wheels, we will play the Deliverance theme. Do-do-do-do-do-do-do-do.
Yeah, people have also been ragging on the Aston Martin livery because it's got more black on it now and it's not just entirely green. I mean, okay. I mean, I guess I'm probably not as aggroed about this sort of stuff as some people are. It doesn't bother me as much as it does some people. There are other things that really do bother me about the sport, which possibly don't bother other people so much. I suppose say, you win some, you lose some. But the Sauber looks very low effort. The
Hmm.
Sauber design. The Racing Bulls, that looks really nice. The one that's
Uh,
basically all white. I didn't like their livery last year at all, where it was like a Visa Cash App Racing Bull and it had like blue all over the back. I just didn't like it. I like this. This looks very clean.
yeah.
That one looks very clean. Um, so yeah, looking forward to seeing that out on the track. Just trying to think of any others. I mean, the Williams looks quite nice with their blend of one blue into another.
Yeah.
One blue over the cuckoo's nest. Um,
Yeah, indeed.
so yeah, like I say, some nice deliveries, but most of it, like I say, it's just the same shit recycled. I think the Haas looks a bit nicer. It's basically the same design. It's just they've moved a few bits around and changed a few colours here and there. But I did quite like the Haas, particularly from the side profile. I think that looks quite good. But we'll have to see how they look on track. But it just makes me laugh. Like I say, F1 must have spent an absolute fortune getting all this stuff manoeuvred over here and the place set up and everything customized for this event, which is then a complete waste of flaming time and energy because it's mostly, it's mostly old news, isn't it?
Well, yeah, and it's down to the fact that the only reason they're actually doing it is because they're
75.
well, it's not just that, but it's a question of getting um their sponsors' names onto, like, premium television.
Hmm. Well, it
You
wasn't.
know,
It
so
was on. It was on YouTube. It wasn't even on premium television.
you know what I mean.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
It's in the premium sort of airspace.
yeah. But I
So
mean, their stuff was already on YouTube anyway, and they can do plenty of stuff on YouTube. It's just a case of um, I just don't get quite what the point was, apart from them trying to celebrate 75 years. Um, but even so, like I say, even with all the liveries, and even if the liveries were all like a little bit more different than they actually are, Formula One these days is pushing more and more towards. We want more night races. We want more night races. You have night races, you can't see the bloody liveries anyway.
yeah, it doesn't matter then, does
When
it?
you're watching the coverage, it's like, well, there's 20 cars coming towards me. I can recognise two of them. I hate that. I hate that they've all gone for night races. It's like, fuck's sake. Um, it's because they're trying to do more races in the Middle East and the like, but they want it on at the premium time for viewing in Europe.
Yeah.
It's like, so just don't have the races in the Middle East, or have them, you know, have them like we always do with like Australia, where just have them in the early hours of the morning or something, because fucking night races. I hate night races. They were a novelty at first when there was just the one. It was like, okay, we got a night race, then we got like two, then we got like four, and it's like, okay, I'm actually bored of seeing these because you can't even determine where they are on the track half the time because it all just looks the same. It's a street
Yeah, it
circuit,
does make it difficult,
a
doesn't it?
street
Definitely.
circuit, street circuit with just blinding lights that don't actually show out the colours of the car properly. Yeah, no, I'm not a big fan of night races. I think they're a bit ridiculous and overblown. It's only because all the money's coming from the Middle East these days that they're doing all that shit. But even then, like I say, it's hilarious that the money seems to be coming from the Middle East, obviously with all these um, races over there, and yet they're still trying to like show the races at European time. So it's just like, well, where are you trying to make your money? I don't understand quite this.
Yeah.
Oh dear. But yeah, it's quite funny. But you heard about what they're doing to Monaco?
No.
Well,
Uh,
since they can't make the
Shitting
race
down its
interest,
neck, I presume.
since they can't make the race interesting in any way, shape, or form, they're gonna probably, I don't know if it's actually been
Release
confirmed,
some balls.
release some balls. Yes, they're gonna do that, but also they're planning to. Sorry, trying to focus on what I'm saying. Um, they're planning to make it compulsory to have two pit stops instead of just one. It's like,
Wonderful.
oh please, let's see the cars. Rather than the cars actually racing and like, trying to overtake each other, let's see them standing still for longer. And it's like it's just any attempt to mix it up, and it's like so it's only going to be for that one race as well. It's like when you start having regulations just for one race, it kind of makes a mockery of having regulations. It's like
Well, for the
saying,
next
it's
race,
like saying,
anybody
it's
that's
like
a
saying
world champion
Bahrain.
and a Dutchman has to wear their pants on their head.
It's like saying Bahrain. When the race victor gets up on the podium, they have to jump on one leg, and they can't put the other foot down. And it's like,
Yep.
so Formula One is making a bit of a piss take of itself now, and it's old Bin Sulayem or whatever his name is. I can't wait for him to be dusted off and them to get rid of him because he is just fucking it up so badly. And they're talking about like penalising drivers with race bans for swearing 3 times in the space of 2 years.
I don't know
And
about you and me. I'd bleed spend all of my time sitting in the bleeding canteen for that.
I'd just walk into the famous like press conference and just go fuck, fuck, fuck. Oh dear,
Yep,
I'll
walk out.
have a month's holiday. I'm sorry, but it's getting shit. It really is. It's like okay, I get it. Like I say, certain drivers were just swearing and cursing all the time, so raise them on it. But say look, don't. Then again, I reckon probably that was already going on anyway, and drivers were already doing that. It's just we never used to hear it.
Yeah.
But now they've got this obsession with putting every single piece of team radio over the airwaves. It's like, well, if they're swearing and you don't want to hear them swearing, don't fucking broadcast it. You know? Is it not that
That's far
simple?
too logical. You
Is
know
it
that,
not
don't
that
you?
simple? If it's offensive and you think your audience isn't going to appreciate it, rather than like threatening them to have like a race ban because of them swearing and having a bit of a rage attack when someone's driven into the back of them or something like that, why not just not broadcast it? Oh, and then
Yeah.
Bin Sulayem was actually trying to say ban all team radio. He was talking about like getting rid of all team radio entirely. It's like, really, really, in these ultra high tech, advanced cars that are basically like rocket ships these days, with the amount of flaming buttons and doodads they have on them. Let's just get rid of all team radio so that you know, anytime anything even minor goes wrong, each of these cars is out of the race.
Ridiculous.
It's just it's it's supposed to be the pinnacle motorsport, pinnacle of technology. It's supposed to advance everything. taking everything like back a step is not doing that. But Formula One, nah, it's a shadow of its former self. It really is. Like I say, last
Yep.
season was interesting and exciting, and there was good racing. And my God, how many different winners did we have? It was like it was unheard of. So you've got that, and everything the governing body are trying to do is just trying to make it worse. It's
It
like
feels like it.
it's like they're tired of it and they want to sell it off, but they want to bring the price down a bit to actually make the buyers a little bit more receptive. You know?
Yes, definitely.
Mm, yeah, it's a bit fucking stupid. But yeah, we're about to have like a pre-season testing starting on Monday in
Ooh.
Bahrain. I wonder if we'll be doing it during the day or during the night. Um,
What do you think about the fact of having them have some of their junior drivers do some of the test sessions? It doesn't necessarily make any difference to the test sessions, but what it does do is it displays their wares for
yeah,
other teams to think about buying their drivers.
yeah, but it also puts the hardware at risk because these young drivers are likely to try and push a bit too hard and put it in the bin. But yeah,
Yeah.
I don't disagree with that. Like I say, um, funny thing about because like I say, we've got lots of rookies coming onto the grid this season, having had no
We do
changes,
indeed.
having had no changes last season at all. We've got all these rookies that are about to sort of take onto the grid. The speculation is that Jack Doohan has pretty much lost his drive already because they hired Colapinto as a second or third driver, I should say. Um, and the rumours are, like I say, they were a bit sceptical about taking him in the first place because I don't know. I've not really seen enough of him. I kind of hope he gets a fair crack at it and he actually has a chance to do well because hiring him to be a driver and then having all this speculation even before he's driven the car. I know he did like one race I think at the end of last season, but having all the speculation before he's even driven the car that he's going to get replaced because he's not good enough. It's like how the hell does anyone know? Because a lot of drivers that do really well in Formula 2 end up having a shit time and really, really, really just being absolute trash in Formula 1. And a
Yeah.
lot of drivers that are like average in some other formula can suddenly come into Formula 1 and they can you know, just show some blinding talent.
Completely rock it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, not many people were talking about Colapinto before he joined Williams. That soon changed, didn't it?
Oh God, yeah.
Um, but yeah, like I say, there's the speculation about Jack. I did find it quite hilarious when Gasly and Doohan came onto the stage during the thing, F175, and I think each of them said about two words, and it's like, right, we're off. Okay, oh, fine.
Yeah.
Was
Yeah.
it worth
Thank.
showing up for? Was it worth them showing up for?
Well, for the check, I'm sure it was.
The Red Bulls, Liam Lawson and Max Verstappen didn't even speak at all.
No.
And the flaming video that they put out was like, oh my god, please, can we stop this now? Can we end this? Some of it was so bad. It just wasn't. Yeah, I don't know. Like I say, I like that they're doing something different. Don't get me wrong. They're trying some different stuff, but that's not the thing that's going to sort of make Formula One great. Having events where it's just there specifically for I don't know. I mean, there was the tickets. They were selling tickets. I'm so glad that I never actually sort of was tempted to actually buy a ticket to it, and I feel sorry for anyone who did, really, because
Yeah.
you got to see if your favourite driver was up there, you got to see him for about 20 seconds. It was just
Ridiculous.
yeah. It was like it's not like there was really a massive interaction. People have
it
been,
was a revenue generating exercise and really nothing more.
yeah, yeah, and that goes straight into their pocket, doesn't it? Not into the.
Yep.
I doubt it would go to. I don't know if it would go to the team's pocket or whatever, but certainly to the FIA. Um, but yeah, it was like I say, it's something that happened. It's something that happened that I'm sure they'll take all the feedback on board and then ignore it and just send it out again next season. Um, they'll keep doing it until it's not making them any money, won't they?
Yeah. They'll flog the dead donkey until it smells, you know? Until
Yeah.
it really stinks. And then eventually they'll go, oh, I don't want that anymore.
Don't like it.
I don't like it. And they'll just flog it off to somebody else.
Yeah.
They'll turn it into a rodeo or something.
It's getting too many influences from too many stupid, not stupid places, but like I say, um, too many weird influences that are culturally out of whack with the actual Formula One environment.
It was always a gentleman's sport, but it's not a gentleman's sport. It's not anymore anyway. It's a sponsor's sport, and it's a team. You know, it's a team's sport. The team were doing it originally for the glory of the drivers, if you like, but now it's very much the other way around
Mm.
because the teams are the ones that pay the checks.
This is hilarious because I say to the fans, it's the drivers that are their heroes. The
Yeah,
drivers, that you know bring the interest into the living room and that they want to actually succeed. Um, but yeah, like you say, the team is less and less focused on drivers' championship and more on say constructors.
yeah,
And like I say, I get it. Like I say,
worth.
that's where their money is. But it's a contrast to the actual fans that they're supposed to be trying to appease and trying to make happy. Because while you're trying to make your sponsors happy, um, while you're trying to sort of make the most money for your team, the fans are the people. Without the fans, there is no sport.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I say, it'd be interesting to
Well,
see.
without the fans, what would they do? They'd go,
They
I know,
they
let's
get
bring
hot.
in vape advertising or something.
Without the fans, they'd get too hot. Anyway, sorry. Um,
Yeah, the cars are allowed to be the minimum weight has to be 2 kilos heavier than last year. So
yeah.
what's that for the aircon for the driver?
No, that's largely because some of the drivers were at a disadvantage because of their weight, because of their size and weight. Because when you got like a taller
Really?
driver, if you got like a taller driver, they're going to have more weight than Yuki Tsunoda, for example,
Yeah, yeah.
and that obviously affects performance. And I believe that's why they adjusted it was because of trying to sort of make it a little bit more fair. Um, but they didn't do that back in the days when Jenson Button was driving latest.
Have they done anything like changed any tyre widths or anything this year?
Not that I've heard of. Not that I'm aware of.
I know
No.
last year they increased the tyre widths, didn't they?
Hmm.
And I wondered if all of a sudden, if they're saying, that teams can't have these little DRS wings that obviously were illegal, but nobody said they weren't,
It's not
so
DRS
everybody went
wings.
off started using them.
They've not got DRS wings. It's just a flexible
They're little
structure.
flexible wings,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Well, they were referred to in the thingy as mini DRS wings.
Yeah.
That's what they
But
called them.
but like I say, they made McLaren change that last season anyway on the rear wing,
Yeah.
and it's just a bit more flex in some of the front wings, which will be outlawed from mid-season, but which Red Bull have spent a considerable amount of money catching up on or trying to catch up on that particular piece of technology.
Oh yes, young Mr. Albie here was nice enough to send the long-suffering Mrs. Angel a couple of books. and by the author Stephen Bruel, is
Spruill.
it?
Spruill.
Bruel.
Spruill.
Well, she read both of them in 3 days.
Yeah, from what you were saying, when she was like, she'd had the book for about half an hour, she'd gotten about page 58. It's like, shit! There were 58 pages in
Yeah.
that book? I thought there were only four. Yeah, yeah, like I say, yeah, speed reader. Um, like I say, I always struggle to. I don't speed read because I can't take the information in.
Yeah.
Quite often, like I say, if I'm reading, sometimes it'll make me tired anyway, and I'll end up rereading sometimes the same paragraph, the same half a page, 4 or 5 times just to try and sort of like, okay, my brain isn't taking this in. I need to just keep like rereading this. Um, but yeah, like I say, I'm glad she managed to absorb it all and managed to enjoy it. As I said, I had those books.
Well,
I bought those books about 30 years ago.
she has ordered another book by the same author.
Hmm.
Um, Probably that's probably the next book along, I believe. Um, but she was looking at those books on a large online retailer, shall we say.
Mm.
They are bloody expensive now because
Like I
they're out of
said,
print, aren't
I was
they?
gonna say, yeah, they wouldn't be probably sort of like I say, the two that I sent you were like 1995 and 1996 that they were printed, and
Yeah.
that would have been around about the time I bought them and read them. Um, so yeah, I was like a member of a book club I think at the time, and it's like so I was like obviously getting books quite regularly. Um, but like I say, they've been on a bookshelf for best part of 30 years, and I'm just
Bloody
glad.
hell.
I'm just glad that they've been of use to someone who's going to enjoy them.
She will covet them most definitely. She
Yeah,
will covet them in a most shiny way. As I believe she's found a place on the bookshelf for them already.
nice. Yeah, like I said, I had a feeling that she probably wouldn't have read or seen those ones because, like I say, it's not a high-profile author or not one that I've actually heard of since. Um, so yeah, like I say, it was yeah, just glad that there's something new for her to read.
Oh yeah, I mean, anything really. Yeah, but she thoroughly enjoyed them. Thank you very much, and it started her down another rabbit hole.
I don't remember there being rabbits in there. What?
Well, there
Yeah.
are now.
Wow. These books have evolved.
Yeah, because it gives her another author to add to the list.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
No, but the list is long but distinguished, just like my Johnson. Um, Top Gun quote.
Mhm. Uh huh.
Do you remember?
I don't
Just
remember that
just
at
me then.
all. I don't remember that at all. I think that was just the version of Top Gun that you watched.
No, it was Goose. How many
Was this
butts
one? Was it the one
did you have to kiss
Was it the one where the
to get
plumber
in to get in here?
turns up?
No, it wasn't that
No,
one. No,
not that version.
no, no. It's not where Maverick turns up to Charlie and she says, "Quick, pilot, take my breath away." It's not that one. Anyway,
Indeed.
yes, indeed.
Any predictions then for the coming season?
Lots of stropping.
Lots of strolling. How is he still on the grid?
Uh,
How have we lost drivers like Bottas and we've still got him on the grid? Anyway, um, yeah,
Bottas has gone away to to jump up and down on his trampoline made of money.
yeah,
He doesn't care.
he kind of does because he wants to be on the grid, but like I say, he's gone back to McLaren for the time being for their reserve driver, which makes you wonder if they have like full confidence in Kimi Antonelli, having bigged up this driver so much, and then yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna be. It's gonna be interesting to see how well the rookies do, because we already know that Behrman is fairly strong. I mean, is Liam Lawson technically still a rookie? I don't know if he did. I can't remember if he did a full season. Did he? He may have
No, I
done.
don't think he did. Did he?
Oh no, because Ricardo was there, wasn't he? Ricardo was there at the beginning of the last
Mm-hmm.
season. So yeah, technically he's still a rookie as well. He's now alongside Verstappen. I don't envy anyone who has to drive that car alongside Verstappen because, for one thing, it's just a difficult car to drive. I hope he isn't completely annihilated like so many of the other teammates that Verstappen has had, because Red Bull's for the last however many years has always been focused around him, even when Ricardo was
Yeah.
still there. Ricardo had been there; he'd been like with them for a few years. He was loyal to them. He was quick and he was competitive, and then they just seemed to discard him and just
And above all, he wasn't an arsehole.
yeah, he was popular as well. Like people really enjoyed his personality because you know he was cheerful and bright and full of life. And yeah, it was a bit harsh what happened to him really. I
I
mean,
think it was bloody awful.
yeah, I mean it's just the fact that he couldn't get on with the McLaren, he then couldn't get on with the was it Renault that he went to next,
Renault, yes.
and then the Toro Rosso where he was like showing a bit more pace, but it was inconsistent. I don't know. It's not a great way to sort of have like a quality chap like that, a good Grand Prix winner, leave the sport.
No, definitely not.
But yeah, like I say there's so many rookies. There's like Hajar and Behrman, who's like I say, he's shown himself to do quite a good job so far in his appearances. I've like I say, I've liked Lawson's fighting spirit when he was in a slower car battling against Perez in particular, because it's like Perez should have been able to get past. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We
And,
like him. He
and-
has spirit.
but the thing is, I think actually I did join in on the Perez bashing last year. I don't get me wrong. It was like it was a bit sort of like an easy target, wasn't it? But the thing is, as I said, that car is not easy to drive. Max just has a handle on it because he likes really awkward cars like that. I don't think very many drivers would have done a better job.
No.
It's just that Perez was just unfortunate enough. I mean, I think Perez is a pretty good driver, but I think you generally get the best out of Perez when he's driving a midfield team. That probably sounds stupid, but he punches above his weight in a midfield team. But in the Red Bull, because Max was still winning races and he was like qualifying 21st or whatever the hell it was sometimes, that's always going to reflect badly on anyone, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
But I think it's a shame he's not got any sort of drive at all. But got like Cadillac joining Formula One next season. Speculation is that it's probably going to be Colton Herta, possibly Bottas with his teammate with some experience. But literally anything can happen.
In the next half hour.
I mean,
But
Mario.
do you think the Cadillac is going to be like sort of this big wide thing with the drivers with his arm out the window
It's
and
gonna have
like the
like
whole car's
gonna
on
have like
air ride
bouncing
suspension?
bouncing suspension. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I was literally going to say, Mario Andretti was looking quite spry at the events he's been to recently. I wouldn't be surprised if he'd be sort of interested in coming back and being an experienced driver for Cadillac.
Well, he flies the American flag, doesn't he?
Mm.
Proudly. So
But he doesn't
there's
seem
no
to have.
reason.
He doesn't seem to have aged in the. When was it? Mans was there, like in the 90s, wasn't it?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah, about 93, 94 that Mansell was driving alongside him as a teammate. And he doesn't look like he's aged very much since then. It's like, wow, he's doing
He
really
might have
well.
he might have had some work done. That's all I'm saying.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, like I say, I mean, I don't know if racing drivers are quite as
I'm not.
vain as
I'm
celebrities
not.
like that.
Uh, I'm not. Like sort of. I'm not trying to account. To talk disparagingly about him. Definitely not.
Hmm.
But you know, when you look at the same sort of guys who you look at, okay, look at Mark Webber, look at David Coulthard, look at Mika Hakkinen.
All at the same time.
Um, if you can, just get them all to stand at a very sort of sheer line,
Hmm.
Um, but all of them have, if you like, aged very gracefully.
Yeah.
Um, whereas if somebody just really hasn't aged very much at all, there has to be a reason for that. They could have made a deal with the devil at the old the crossroads.
Dance for the Devil by the Pale Moonlight.
Indeed.
Right, so Tank Buster's this thing on the front. What are the Tank Buster vents?
It's these things here, I think. These bits on the side here.
Ah, yes,
That's what
that
was
one there.
glowing.
That one there.
That's a good point. We're in Midgar. We're in the Final Fantasy universe. Why don't I get paid in gil?
Gil.
Their gold. Their gold coins are called gil, aren't they?
Will this thing please fucking clean? Thank
Got
you.
it.
Done. Done. Winner.
Done, diddly, undone, done, done.
I let him cover his modesty again.
Oh, we don't have to. We can always just tell him to suffer. Let's look at something I haven't finished again. Let's go to Back to the Future.
Back to the future.
Back to the Future, future. For the
Back. Twitch, 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 twitch. Marty. This
you
one.
here?
This one has so many components.
I bet.
Have you not done this yet? At all?
I don't think. Well, it says I haven't, but
Okay, cool. Yeah.
I might have done it in like a free play, but not as part of campaign.
Fair enough. We will. We will
Fix it. We
complete
will
it.
mend it.
Yeah.
We will polish its top.
If you say so.
You telling me you don't remember Bagpuss?
Yeah, I do.
Oh my god.
What?
Bagpuss was like a staple part of my childhood.
I know. I know. I know Bagpuss.
You know Bagpuss.
Yeah, I've got
You're
one
just
somewhere.
you just don't remember it. You just don't remember it like I do.
I mean, I just remember the do 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 and the he.
Yes. A marvelous mechanical mouse organ.
Yes.
Anyway, actually, that takes me over to a funny story. 2003. Okay. We went to the V Festival at Chelmsford, I think it was. Basildon, maybe something like that. And the we went there essentially to see three bands. Elvis Costello was there, which was interesting, but that's not my bag. Um, but they had Supergrass.
Hmm.
They
Were
had
they caught by the fuzz yet?
lit. Uh, they could have been by the Short and Curlies, for all I know. Um, I don't know any of their albums particularly, if I'm honest.
I know
But I
you
just,
wanna try to get away,
yeah.
but it's not hard.
Um,
So yeah,
and then it was Nickelback,
right.
and then it was Alanis Morissette.
Isn't that ironic?
Well, no, it's just bloody unfortunate, really. All of the things in there are not ironic at all.
I know. It's fucking hilarious. It's ironic that it's
Did you?
just so unironic, really.
Yeah, I sent you a link. No, I'll talk about the link in a minute. But when we were at V, we were there with a couple of friends, my sister, sister-in-law as well, and she was there, and she had a Bagpuss backpack,
Hmm.
and through all of the sort of the shall we say lesser known bands, we were fighting our way to the front,
Hmm.
and by the time Supergrass ended, we were right at the front. We were actually on the handrail, and I was talking to one of the security guys in case I needed to get the ladies out because they were really pushing hard from
So
behind.
when you say, in case I need to
I
get
wanted
the
to get the
ladies out,
ladies
in
out.
case I need to get the ladies out, way lift the shirt. What?
Well,
So,
if
just
I
it
couldn't
just
look
sounded
after
wrong.
them,
Sorry.
I think. Well, yeah, come figures from me, doesn't it? Um, but it was actually it was televised afterwards, and there was one particular bit where Chad Kroger was playing a song, and he saw Bagpuss hanging over the handrail at the front,
Hmm.
and he had no idea what it was, and he just looked really confused for a couple of minutes. And they actually got that bit in the in the footage that they televised.
Nice.
Um, Strangely enough, we were by the time Nickelback had finished and all the crowd surfers had stopped bleeding because like my wife kept swiping them with her fingernails as they went over.
Hmm.
Um, by the time Alanis Morissette came on, we were too bleeding knackered for anything, and we decided to go and sit at the back, grab a can of drink and a burger, and just sort of chill out to it, you know?
Hmm.
Because let's face it, Alanis Morissette is perfect chill out music.
I don't know. Well, I mean, you ought to know.
I ought to know, yeah.
You ought to know. I wouldn't say that was chill
Yeah.
out music. Yeah,
What did
I don't
you what
know.
did you
I love
what
it, but
did
you
you do with that cross-eyed bear?
the cross-eyed bear, the cross-eyed bear that John gave
Bear
to
that
me.
you gave to me.
Did I sent you there, didn't I? About the cross-eyed bear.
Yes.
Yeah, that was fucking hilarious. I'd never heard those misheard lyrics before, and afterwards was like, that's just fucking brilliant.
Yeah.
Whoever misheard that misheard it well. That was good. So funny. The cross-eyed bear.
Misheard. That's not a bad one. Misheard lyrics. What are the best misheard lyrics you've heard?
I can't think of any anymore. You just put me on the
Ah,
spot. You put me on the spot, and now I can't remember any song that ever existed.
what? Oh, that's bad. That's bad. You need to work on that. But for me, one of my favourites is Queen by Bohemian Rhapsody, where he's sparing his life from this monstrosity.
Hmm.
But you could also say sparing his life from his mum's sausages, and it matches perfectly.
Yep.
It just fits in, and they carry on, and nobody's the wiser. And who is Miss Miller? I know. You don't need to say. I know. It's fine. Yeah, I was saying it to be ironic, if you like, or just to be
don't,
thick. One or
don't
the
you
other.
think? Don't you think?
Don't you think?
Don't you
Yeah.
think?
I do. I definitely think. Coolant pipes. Coolant pipes
Cool.
round here. I think.
Like I say, there's just so many little tiny micro bits in the back of this flaming vehicle.
Let's let's take the extension off because at the moment we don't really need it.
Well, hello, big boy.
Hello.
Right, okay, so what am I looking at?
Yeah. Steam separator, coolant pipes. One of two. Maybe that's not the right thing.
There's,
Uh, they're not the exhaust things at the sides, are they? Well, that's the primary heat exchanger.
yeah, apparently it was.
That was it, was it?
I don't know. That was
Steam
that.
separator. Yep, yep, that's the one.
Steam
The
separator.
temporal field gyroscope.
Steam separator. Here, Carlos Sainz singing that one this season. Steam separator. Oh
There
dear.
it is. There it is. Flux
So,
cable conduits.
same to you, mate.
There we go. Front fascia. And
Grill,
just the
grill,
grill.
grill. Ah, shit! Ah, ah, ah.
We're back in time.
Where do we need to stand?
I would say probably about here.
Your ass is on fire. Your ass is on fire.
My ass is on fire.
I'm putting out the fire. I'm putting out the fire.
Good job. What we like to hear.
We're doing a fantastic job, don't you reckon?
Okay, I think we're doing a fantastic job. Um, I've not done two of the seasonal specials.
Two of them. Cool. Okay. Yep.
Uh, the the ice rink and the Halloween house.
Hello in house.
Mind you, it might be that actually I don't have it installed. One second. It is
Now I have.
free.
Now I have it installed. Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Installing. Installing. It's
Yeah.
229
Ah!
meg.
Shit. Car's back.
The car came back.
Car's back.
Does it have like the sports almanac in the front seat?
It's got some pin-ups. I think he bought the wrong magazine.
Oh, okay. Right. Halloween house. Start the bad boy.
Game session was closed by the host.
I will invite you, don't worry.
You will? Oh yes, you
I
will.
bloody well.
Oh
I
yes, you
bloody
will.
well will.
Oh yes, you will.
I will. Oh no, I won't.
Oh yes. Do 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 do.
We
Da,
might
da, da, da.
possibly let's see how far we get, but I don't know how long I'm gonna last.
That's cool. That's cool.
If I'm
So
honest,
there's quite a lot on this one, if I recall correctly. So yeah, it's
I
fine.
don't know.
Da, 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 da. So yeah, you were saying about Avowed.
Avowed, yeah. It is. number one in the charts in America, which is good,
Hmm.
and the UK
Okay.
and France
Okay.
and Spain
Okay.
and the Netherlands
Would it
and something else I can't remember that escapes me at
Azerbaijan?
the moment.
Azerbaijan?
Do you know, for all I know, it bloody well could be. But
Right.
yeah, it's considering the fact they're not talking about number of people playing it, they're talking about sales,
Hmm.
and it is number one in the charts.
I saw someone, was it today or yesterday, that was trying to rag on it, saying, "Oh, Steam sales for Avowed are fucking terrible." It's like, and everyone was like, "Yeah, it's a fucking
No,
Game Pass." See, I didn't know whether it was accurate or not, but but it's like it's a Game Pass game. People who've got Game Pass are playing
yeah,
it on Game Pass, so you know you wouldn't necessarily expect it to be so massively popular on Steam, but obviously I'm guessing it sounds like it is anyway. So yeah, people will just like rag on things for the shits and giggles of it, won't they?
they want to make themselves feel better.
Yeah,
Why do they want to make other people miserable? Because they're miserable, and making other people miserable makes them happy.
miserable bastards.
Miserable bastard.
Mm,
I'll give them bloody misery.
I hate you, Butler.
Yeah, I was thinking that way as well.
Yeah.
Trouble is, when I do it, it comes out like Rolling Rat. Yeah,
Rit ripping.
red, red.
Scritch. Rit ripping. Oh, I used to
Oh
love that
God,
record.
no.
Used to love that record. As a kid, just to be clear. Oh
God.
dear. Do, 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 do.
My wife was just saying that she's got Rat Rapping the original on vinyl.
I'm pretty sure I have as well behind me because there's a load of vinyl that's my parents' stuff, which is still in the living room, untouched. I
Uh,
probably should do something about getting rid of that at some point because I'm never going to listen to it or use it or need room for it. But yeah, their old record players still behind me, along with all their vinyl, and I'd imagine like the John Williams music, film music albums probably still there with all the stuff that he did from back in the
that was a
80s.
favourite, was it?
It got played quite regularly. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's lots of stuff there that's well, really old without go, which
I
goes
hate to
without saying.
say it, but it's a lot of the old, more the older style furniture and stuff, particularly if it's sort of 40s, 50s, is in huge demand at the moment.
Yeah, I'd imagine there's a few sort of few albums of Julio Iglesias there as well.
Olio,
Julio, Julio, and
olio.
what was the other one? Demis Roussos. Mum used to love Demis Roussos as well.
Oh God. The Greek who used to walk around with a dwarf with a pair of pliers under his smock.
I'll take your word for that.
Well, I say I used to hit those notes.
Oh, right, okay, okay, right, yeah.
I'm not going to try to hit those notes because I do not have
Do not
a
wish to do
smock
yourself an
on, and I
injury,
do not I do not have I do not have a pet dwarf, you know,
and you don't wish to do yourself an injury,
and I don't wish to do myself or anybody else an injury.
or anybody else. Wow. You,
Well, to be
you're
honest with you, usually if I try to do something that's outside of my comfort zone, I go ow, 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 thrash around, and then usually end up punching something across the room accidentally because my arms are going in different directions.
you do the flailing sort of arms to sort of indicate distress.
I can't help it.
The Team America style.
Yes, exactly.
Da, 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 da.
Wait, he's acting.
Da, 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 da. I'm just cleaning my wooden pole. Oh, gonna have a quick drink because requirements require drink.
Yes, indeed. Shouldn't your stream be reminding you?
It should be, but it doesn't because it hasn't, and it just wouldn't really.
It can. I think possibly we need to teach you some
Manners?
Twitch server commands and
Oh,
stuff. No, no, no. Your manners are absolutely fine. Apart from the obviously, the picking the toenails at the dining room table. But
picking them with my teeth is a bit of a problem, is it?
yeah, yeah. But it is down to the fact that you swoop out of the sky and you use your nails to pick them up like a bird of prey. So you got to get all the detritus out from between your claws somehow.
Well, I'm just currently cleaning my balls.
That's nice. Fantastic. Very important to have clean balls.
So, James Bond. James Bond.
Yes. Bond is now in the
In the grasp of Amazon.
indeed.
Fuck that.
Oh, I think we've talked about this off stream,
I
and
don't believe that they're going to withhold to all the actual ideals that James Bond is supposed to be. I mean, like I say, I'm all for equality in filmmaking and shit like that, but if they try and make James Bond female, I know James Bond has technically been female once before, but that film was basically a parody anyway, so it wasn't really.
well, actually, strictly speaking, James Bond has been a female twice.
Yeah, because she was in the same. There were two different female ones, weren't there? I can't remember what it was called now.
You think of Casino Royale, aren't you?
Casino Royale, the original Casino Royale, not
Yeah, but
the recent
there's
one.
also the recent one. There's a female that is 007.
Was there?
Yeah.
I haven't seen that one. Which one was that one? Oh, there
Um,
was actually yeah.
too 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 young to die. Whatever it was, too something to die.
Oh yeah, actually yeah. Because I haven't even touched that one. Because
I've got it, and
like I say, don't get me
I've
wrong.
just
Like I
never
say,
watched it.
um, I've not been a massive fan of some of the recent James Bond films. I've not been a massive fan of them anyway. It's just a case of probably fatigue, probably just too much of the same sort of thing. Probably just a case of you need a change every now and then, which is what they generally have, isn't it? They generally have like a few films of one and then sort of change the actor. I like
Yeah,
Daniel.
exactly.
I liked Casino Royale with Daniel Craig. Um, Quantum of Solace, I can't remember a single thing about, really, to be fair. I don't think. I know people ragged on it. I don't remember it being bad. I just remember it being unmemorable.
Yeah, you don't remember it being bad. You just don't remember it.
That's the one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And then they brought out Skyfall, which everyone was saying it's the
Yes.
best film ever made. I watched it. It's like it was all right. Wasn't the best
Yeah.
film ever made. It was definitely not the best film ever made. I wouldn't even go as far as to say it was the best James Bond film ever made. But it
No,
was
no,
okay.
definitely not.
It was fine, but it didn't make me want to watch it again. Spectre came after that, and I'm sure I've seen Spectre. And apart from the evil villain going all ham on James
Christoph
Bond,
Waltz. Yeah.
yeah. apart from the villain, I don't really remember much about that one either. To be fair, which is probably why I didn't have a lot of time for No
I've
Time
not
to
seen
Die.
it. I've not seen Spectre.
Like I say, it was okay. It wasn't fantastic. But yeah, No Time to Die. It wasn't even on my radar to watch. And I guess, like I say, it's because it's obviously, I guess it's probably not been as popular as possible, which is why they've decided to hand over the rights to Amazon. But when it was, when it's in the hands of the people who have respect for the estate, fair enough. Okay, they'll respect what the actual character's supposed to be. You just hand it over to someone completely new, and it's like free reign. Um, Similar to Zack Snyder with the DC universe, where everyone criticised his Superman because he killed General Zod and for this and for that and whatever. It's like, well, you know, it's it's a different take on it. I quite liked Man of Steel myself, but
I thought it was excellent.
yeah,
Apart from the weird flying through buildings bit near the end.
apart from the
But
bit where it's like, oh, Kevin Costner, I'm just going to suddenly let myself die for no reason. It's like, what the fuck
it wasn't for no reason. It was to protect his son's
was
his
it?
son's abilities.
Was it?
Yes,
But
it was.
he deliberately ran out there towards a fucking hurricane. It's like, what, to save the dog? It's like, okay, fine, okay, you want to save the dog, but it is a suicide fucking mission. It's just like
Yeah.
it was a fucking stupid way of doing it. It was just absolutely fucking dog bollocks. Not in the good way, dog bollocks. It was just like the ones that you know get licked quite regularly and sort of taste a bit funny. I'm starting to sound a bit
Oh, the
weird
lucky
now.
ones then.
Yeah. Um, but no, like I, I just I couldn't connect with that part of the film.
I'm still waiting for the big eight to do something meaningful with Stargate. I want them to do something with Stargate,
Mm. But with James,
even if it means if it means rescuing the people on the Destiny. Even if it means that, anything, get it started, get it done, and get the universe rolling again. Then
make it so.
they can bring SG-1, they can bring Atlantis, they can bring everything online, and just make a huge interweaving universe that's got plenty of baddies in it, got plenty of places and new faces to see and new things to discover. You know,
Yeah,
it is. This is my pet project. I want more Stargate,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
want it now.
That's fair. But yeah, like I say, I mean, while with the James Bond stuff, I've not been particularly invested in it myself of late. Anyway, it is a very British franchise. Now it's in the hands of an American corporation, and I just worry what it's going to end up being.
There was a video released, I think it was last week, showing Henry Cavill's
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
audition,
yeah. I've
and
seen
he
that.
was reading the script from a scene in GoldenEye where he meets Onatop, Xenia Onatop, old Famke Janssen, kills people with her inner thighs.
And they're in a dialogue. Yeah. Well, like I say, I mean, like I say, he would have been a good James Bond, but it would have robbed us of a lot of other good things he's done in the meantime. Because when you're James Bond, you don't have a lot of time for anything else. It
That's true.
it sort of restricts what you're able to do in public as well, because I'm sure there's like lots of contractual things of like, right, you need to be sort of our representative for this, that, and the other, and all sorts of shit like that, like Formula One drivers do. I'd imagine it's very similar. Because Daniel Craig for
Well,
a
as
long while didn't do very much. Now he's doing some really good stuff. I mean, I love like Glass Onion and
Uh-huh.
the one that came after that.
Knives Out, wasn't it?
Oh, sorry,
Or was
Knives
that
Out
the
was
first one?
Knives Out was the first one. Yes, I love Knives Out and Glass Onion. I've seen once and I enjoyed that as well. Um, but for a long while, Daniel Craig was literally sort of he's James Bond, and you didn't really see him in much else because the time constraint of it.
No, that's right.
I don't know, have I got the right
Apart from
one?
the Olympics, which was amusing, I have to say. Just me there.
Sorry.
Are
Uh,
you
no, I'm not doing anything childish. What the fuck's my thing done? Oh, hello?
I'm currently spraying my pumpkin?
You're spraying your pumpkin. Well, yeah, I've not done anything childish at all.
Good. Excellent. That's what we like to hear.
Where are you?
I'm behind my pumpkin.
Do you want to come and see what isn't childish?
Yes, please. Oh dear, oh dear.
Who was asking for it?
It was particularly we have to say.
Oh dear. Yeah.
Anyway,
Anyway,
I'll go back to cleaning my pumpkin.
yes, polishing your pumpkin. I've got a big orange one.
I've got one with a door in the front.
Mine's got little candles in it. Will this stool please fucking clean? Thank you. I just polished the
Well, you're not
turd.
supposed to clean your stalls. You're
Just
supposed to just
polished the
flush them
turd.
away.
Yeah, polished the turd. Yeah, yeah. Oh dear.
Are we that predictable?
Yes, I think we
Yes.
guess. I guess we are because we both did predict thatable.
Exactly what we thought we were going to do. Yes.
Yeah. Da,
Nothing
da,
wrong
da,
with
da.
predictability.
Oh, we haven't
So
done. Sorry.
from the play along an Albie thing we did yesterday with Avowed. How do you feel about it?
Honest opinion. I know you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
It didn't really grab
Hmm.
me. It didn't really grab me. Actually, it's not a bad game, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it. Um, I wasn't blown away with the graphics, and
Okay.
and that's not the be all and end all by any means because I play this game obviously, which is deliberately so not it's like high tech graphics and realistic textures and whatever. So it's not to do with the graphics, but like I say, everyone's like saying, "Oh, it looks so fantastic." It's like it looks all right. Um,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it was like massively sort of impressive in terms of graphically, but also the game just feels like I've played it already.
You probably have, one way or another.
Yeah, it just feels like it's not different enough. I mean, okay, there's nothing wrong with the actual game mechanics as far as I can tell. It seems okay, but when I was streaming it the other evening with you watching, and I said this is
Yes.
very much like Skyrim, and it's like it is exactly like Skyrim
Yep.
in the way you use weapons, you fire weapons, you change to magic and you start casting magic, and it's like there isn't anything that makes me think that this isn't just like DLC for that.
Yeah.
And like I say, Skyrim was a fantastic game, but I played that over a decade ago and got bored of it. You know what I mean? It became sort of repetitive and samey, and I'm not saying that necessarily this is going to be necessarily the same. I might go back to it. I don't know, but my initial reaction is like it has not really made me want to sort of carry on playing it constantly. And
There, that's a shame.
and I'm going to be completely blunt. That's basically been the same with pretty much every Obsidian game I've played. Because the Outer Worlds, I enjoyed it initially. I
Yep.
enjoyed it initially, and then it's like I just stopped playing it. Haven't gone back to it. Um, I'm trying to think of other Obsidian games, obviously that I've played, but I mean, I know that they did Knights of the Old Republic 2, and I did complete that.
They do We Happy Few as well? Was that them?
Yeah, I didn't play very much of that at all.
I didn't
So,
play that. It
was that
was.
Obsidian?
Uh,
I don't think that was Obsidian.
I, I think they're barking around the same tree somewhere.
I don't think that was Obsidian. I could be wrong, but I thought that was like an independent sort of a small crew.
Oh no, that might I might be thinking of Clockwork Revolution, maybe.
Possibly. I don't know what that one is. But yeah, like I say, Obsidian. Like I say, I'm not saying by any means that they make bad games that people aren't allowed to enjoy them. Just they don't hold my interest for very long.
Ah, well, it's one of those things. It's horses
Yeah,
for courses. Some people don't like some things, you know.
I don't like
It
anything.
happens.
Oh
Yeah, you
dear.
miserable sod. Yeah.
Bit rat wrapping. Oh dear. Yeah, like I say, it was fine. I was enjoying it while I was playing it. It was just a case of there wasn't really anything there that's going to make me want to sort of to drool over it and sort of want to speak about it constantly without you know without sort of I don't know. It, I
It didn't
poss-
have any content for you, basically, is what you're saying. Nothing to compel you to want to play it any further.
there weren't any characters that I thought were particularly memorable or interesting or that really caught me. Um, and it's always important to have like uh, sort of interesting characters because games like GTA and Red Dead, I've never had any problems like getting into those games and enjoying those. I love The Witcher 3. Um, it's about writing and about how well they disguise that you're just basically doing the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
And like I say, people enjoy it. Good on them. I'm glad for them. I mean, I just I find it hard to get really enthusiastic about games these days. I think I've been burnt by too many, and now my expectations are sort of too low for everything.
It happens, unfortunately.
Yeah, I can't remember the last time I really actually looked forward to a new game release. I'm
Oh, that's a
trying,
shame.
I'm trying to think of anything that I've really. Well, I mean, apart from the last night, and that still hasn't been fucking released, and is, as far as we can tell, still being made, but still a long, long way from.
In development hell.
Still a long, long. I don't know if it's development hell. They've changed up the engine completely from the thing because they didn't expect to get I think there was a team of about 4 or 5 when they made that initial demo that was on the conference in 2017, 8 years ago.
Yeah.
Um, they didn't expect the uptake or the interest level. So in the meantime, they've increased their team size. They've expanded the actual idea of the game, and now it's going to be so much bigger than it ever would have been before. That it's quite an ambitious project now.
Yeah.
Because I
But has
followed
but has
I
the game grown in scope?
Oh, very
in
much, and
theory.
it looks. I think it's going to look quite different. I don't know if it's still going to be the same pixel art style as it was originally. It's still going to be like 2.5D, I think, sort of 2.5D sort of adventure. But yeah, the graphic visualizations that they've shown from time to time on their Discord make it look like it's going to be a much more high visual fidelity experience,
Gotcha.
which I'm not against, as long as the game is worth playing, which I'm sure they're focusing on quite heavily. But obviously the team's a lot bigger now, and there's a lot of ambition that can now actually be realised, but it's just going to take time.
A whole lot of precious time.
Yeah, but that's like I say, obviously how obviously I was really interested in that game when it first got announced, to the point where it's like they did the Xbox press conference, and the only thing I could remember at the end of the press conference, I believe, was the last night. It's like
Yeah,
they've shown all these AAA games, and I'm focusing on this little team of four
I'm
people.
really looking forward to that new Dune survival game.
Mm,
Really looking forward to that.
it might be okay,
Well,
but it might just be sort of another overambitious project that can't deliver like so many we've seen before. I don't know. We'll see.
dear, oh dear.
'Cause, yeah, when you got like massive multiplayer online games, it's down to how the other players are that you're playing against as much as anything, isn't it?
It is to a certain extent. Yeah, that's why most of the time you play it you have play in a private room.
Yeah. It's
Which is
just
what
if
we always did
it's just if everyone's like thinks that they're the
with
Kwisatz
Valheim.
Haderach, then obviously you're going to be in a bit of a bind, aren't you? Really?
Oh yes.
We
Why
are
don't
the
why don't
Kwisatz Haderach.
I'm gonna reinstall Valheim. We're gonna reinstall the mods,
Mhm.
and we're gonna see if we can get this damn thing working again.
Mhm.
I
Yep.
don't know about you, playing the game with like new focus and with some new abilities and new weapons and stuff will make an awful lot of difference.
Mm. But also, like I say, even just like the um even the vanilla game, like I say, I wouldn't mind. And then it's like knowing what I know now about the game, starting and then sort of just going to the areas that we actually enjoy going to, rather than like having to travel to the Ashlands, which I know I hated, and I think it got on your nerves as well. I believe it got on your nerves.
Well, it's okay if you only go there during the day. If you go there at night, like we did, unfortunately, we
Well, like
kind
I
of
say,
got stuck there at
well, we
night.
we were there for a long, long time, so it wasn't just a single day night cycle. It couldn't have been.
No, I mean I was out there building like sort of I built the base for us and stuff, didn't I?
Yeah,
And
but I'm sure, like I say,
well, I
when
spent quite a bit of
we
time out there.
we spent about 2 or 3 streams in the Ashlands, which would have been more than one day night cycle in the game,
Yeah,
and it was just fucking relentless. And it's like, okay, this has gone from being an enjoyable, relaxing game to just hell. And obviously, it looked like hell as well. It looked good, but it looked hellish.
yeah, definitely.
And
But
yeah,
I think they kind of went that way. So when the Deep North comes out, which will be the final expansion before release 1.0, um, it's going to be it's going to be really cold. It's going to be colder than the mountain areas we've been to. We may find that the old wolf fur and stuff like that will see us through. Are they going to let us make Lox coats for the even colder?
no,
Don't
no.
worry, they're fine. They're fine. It's not a problem. They're okay. I do go in and check on them occasionally.
Cool, cool, good, 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 good. Good old Heather.
Yep.
I mean, she was an absolute boss. I mean, absolute hero of the hour.
She still is.
I can't remember what your original Lox was called.
I can't remember what the one that got killed within about half hour of me getting it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can't remember either.
I have to revisit a stream at some point to try and find that out. But yeah, that was pretty brutal. But yes, and then Heather, like I say, swimming me back to safety. What a hero.
They were the the go anywhere Jeep of Valheim.
Mm,
All you need really is some sort of mod that enables you to put a couple of bags, saddlebags, on a locks with the saddle. So you can
mm,
load the locks up with all of your heavy stone and stuff. And let's face it, it's going to be able to carry it because
yeah,
they're strong as the locks, you know.
yeah. But when you were saying about like the mods, that mod that graphics mod that adds all the flaming extras like grass and shit in it, it just fucked up the draw distance. It looks so much better just standard in my opinion than having like grass tufts pop up and then disappear and then pop up
I
and
yeah,
disappear.
I took that off, but in the end, I did leave the season mod on, which
Yeah.
really, yeah, you end up in the meadows, but you end up in the snow in the meadows, and the cold doesn't kill you; it just sort of slows you down a little bit because you haven't got anything warm at that point.
Mm.
But you end up sort of sleeping through as much as you can.
Yeah, pretty much like real life.
Yeah, we do try. I defy them to try and bloody stop me, to be honest. Oh,
You're right.
yeah. So, all I ever seem to do is bloody pain and moan about pain. And it does get on your. I mean, it gets on my nerves. Christ knows what it does to yours.
No, like I say, if you're in pain, let us know because I don't want to say make you feel like you have to keep playing and it's going to make you feel worse and crappy. So if you need to sort of stop or whatever, do just say.
I will do. Don't worry. Probably will stop in a minute, to be honest.
I will time that.
But yeah,
um.
not in a physical minute. No.
Oh, physical minute. Oh, a metaphorical
Yeah.
minute.
Yes.
Yeah. Um. We haven't set up any buzzers yet or anything like that for Discord or investigated that yet, have we?
Yes, we did.
I mean, I know you said about obviously one, but we haven't actually got anything working yet.
Multi-buzz.
Multiverse?
Have you tried it?
No, I've not heard you mention what one you were using.
I sent you the link to it. It's fantastic. It's really, really good. Um, Basically, you go into multibuzz.app. It's
Hmm.
web based, so anybody can play with it. And what you do is you create a room.
Anybody can play with it, just not in public because you'll get arrested for that shit.
Yes, not at bus stops. Um, and it gives you a room code. And basically, you give that to the people that you want to play. They
Hmm.
type their name in, they type in the room code, and they get a buzzer. So then, whenever you're talking or whatever, whoever presses the buzzer first, their name comes up on your screen, and it also shows you when other people will press the buzzer how fast after the first one they've buzzed in.
Fair
It's
enough.
really really good, and you can also reset all the buzzers or lock certain people out if they get a question wrong. You can do all of that through that one app. It's brilliant. It's
Nice.
really good. and it's completely platform agnostic. So it's a good use for people's mobile phones.
Yeah, yeah,
You know, exactly the same way as Jackbox. So
yeah.
we can when we have quiz,
Quiz, quiz, quiz, quiz, quiz.
um, we can actually. I mean, I'll actually go through and create a scoreboard for you if you want
Okay. I mean,
on
I was,
OBS. You know,
I was, yeah, I was gonna do it like manually, but yeah,
I can do one. I can. Well, you have a Stream Deck, don't you?
yes,
So if you had buttons on your Stream Deck that said player one plus 10 points, player one minus 10 points, player one locked out, and
yeah.
then you have a button that sort of resets it
I
all.
mean, like I said, I wouldn't say go with any locked out sort of bullshit. I mean, I'm just sort of literally sort of just gonna go with, yeah,
Yeah,
literally buzzing for answers of
right,
questions. But
right
yeah,
or wrong.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, I can do that. That's easy. That is not a problem at all, laddie.
nice.
No problem. I won't do it in Touch Portal. I'll actually do it in the Stream Deck software for you. Create the front end with the buttons. So we can export the page. You can import the page in. It should keep all the code and everything with it.
Mhm,
And I'll create the scene that you have to just add on to your main scene list that has got the scores on it.
mhm.
And you can I can make it so the scores whiz in and out and all that sort of thing. All the whizzy pop stuff that you want. I can
Don't
do all
need
that.
it to be flash. Just need it to be functional.
That's what I keep saying to Mrs. Angel. But I just heard this little voice from my left go, "Wait." So obviously she knows I'm
You're being
being
lippy. You're
self-deprecating again.
being lippy. Do 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 do.
Okay, I think we are at a point where I have to stop.
Yep, that's cool.
We have reached that point. I mean, we're about halfway on the Halloween attraction.
Mhm. We're halfway there.
Was the graffiti up there? That wasn't you then.
Where? Which where?
The goblin head.
No, no, that wasn't me. I haven't been around this bit.
That wasn't you.
Yeah.
Okay,
No,
okay.
I just graffitied the boo into something different.
Yeah, fair enough. Right, with that, I think if you end your stream, we can end this, and I can try and move around for a bit.
Finish him. Thank you to anyone who tuned in to watch. Hope you've enjoyed the stream. Thank you, Mr. Angel, for joining us.
A pleasure.
This is Rocher. And yeah, we'll be hopefully doing some sort of form of quizzing tomorrow evening, whether it's with the buzzers working or not, or if it's just the um, Excel spreadsheet app. It'll be one way or another. But yeah, thank you for tuning in. We'll catch you again soon.
Thanks, everybody. Bye.
Bye.